Imagine if there were creatures that could cheat death, animals that could freeze, dry up, or even rewind their lives like a movie. First up, let's talk about the immortal jellyfish, scientifically known as Turritopsis dohrnii. And why do we call it immortal? Because this jellyfish can reverse its aging process. Yeah, seriously. If it gets old, injured, or stressed out, it doesn't just grow weak like the rest of us. Instead, it rewinds back to being young again, mostly in tropical waters, mainly around Japan and the Mediterranean. Temperature-wise, it's not picky, handling anywhere from 14 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius, so not too hot, not too cold, just right. Imagine if you could rewind to your teenage years whenever life got tough. The immortal jellyfish goes through something called transdifferentiation. Basically, it's the ability to transform its cells, turning muscle cells into nerve cells, or vice versa. It's like swapping all your old, worn-out parts for brand new ones. Imagine having that ability. And in case you're wondering, nope, this ability doesn't make it dangerous to its environment. It's not some ocean-dominating monster or anything. In fact, it's barely bigger than a fingernail. But if you do want to spot one, good luck. These guys are practically invisible. Scientists are thrilled about studying this jellyfish. It could teach us a lot about aging and cell regeneration. If we can figure out how it works, who knows? Maybe we'll unlock the secret to a longer life for us too. In theory, forever. As long as nothing eats it, this jellyfish can keep rewinding its life indefinitely. It's the closest thing to a real-life fountain of youth. When stressed, injured, or just plain old, the immortal jellyfish can revert to its polyp, baby stage. Imagine if you could just go back to being a kid every time things got tough. This jellyfish literally resets its life. It's just a tiny, peaceful creature that floats around without causing any trouble. Definitely not a threat. They're almost see-through with a little red stomach, so they're hard to spot. If you happen to see one, consider yourself lucky. While some creatures, like flatworms, can regenerate, no other animal can rewind its life like the immortal jellyfish. Despite its special trick, it's still vulnerable to predators and environmental dangers. So even if it can rewind its life, it's not invincible. If scientists can decode how it regenerates, it could inspire new anti-aging treatments for humans. Imagine that, an anti-aging jellyfish cream. Definitely. While it's a master of aging reversal, it can still fall victim to things like pollution, climate change, or hungry predators. The answer lies in its ability to transdifferentiate, basically reprogramming its cells like a reset button. Talk about a neat biological trick. Before we continue, please like this video because our channel is small and new, and your likes are a huge support for us. Alright, next up, tardigrades, aka the water bears. These microscopic creatures are tough. People call them creatures from space, and honestly, with the stuff they can survive, they might as well be from space. Tardigrades can live through the most extreme conditions. They can be frozen in ice, survive in boiling water, handle radiation that'd destroy most living things, and even survive in space. Yep, actual space. Their superpower, a state called cryptobiosis. When things get rough, tardigrades essentially dry themselves out until they're in a state of suspended animation. It's like pressing pause on life. And they can stay like this for decades, just waiting for the perfect moment to come back to life. Crazy, right? Now, these little guys have even been sent to space. Scientists wanted to see how they'd handle the ultimate test, and yep, they came back like it was no big deal. With over 1,300 species, these tiny survivors are literally everywhere, from the mountains to your backyard. And before you ask, nope, they're not dangerous to humans. In fact, scientists study tardigrades because their DNA is practically invincible. Who knows? Maybe we'll unlock the secrets to building indestructible spacesuits from these little guys. From minus 272 degrees Celsius to 150 degrees Celsius in the deep ocean or the vacuum of space, tardigrades can handle just about anything. They're practically superheroes of survival. When life gets rough, tardigrades dry out, turning into a dormant ton state, almost as if pressing a pause button. They can stay like this for decades, just waiting for better conditions. There are over 1,300 species of tardigrades, each with its own superpowers for survival. But they all share the core ability to withstand extreme environments. In their cryptobiosis state, tardigrades can survive for years, possibly even decades, without a single drop of water. Their DNA holds clues about radiation protection and extreme survival that could benefit fields from space travel to medicine. Yep, they're mostly solitary creatures, content to float around in moss, leaf litter, or water, just doing their own thing. They go into their ton state, losing almost all their body water, and wait, sometimes for years, for the next rain. Some have been recorded surviving up to 30 years in a dried-out state. That's longer than most of us keep our houseplants alive. It's partly a nickname, but since they've survived in space conditions, it's pretty well deserved. They produce unique proteins that protect their DNA, allowing them to survive heat, cold, and radiation that would kill most other life forms. Last, but definitely not least, let's talk about the wood frog. This little guy takes cold-blooded to a whole new level. When winter hits, the wood frog literally freezes itself, and I mean its heart stops, its lungs stop, and it looks totally dead. But come spring, it just thaws out and hops away like nothing happened. So how does it do this? Well, the wood frog has a natural antifreeze in its blood, thanks to a unique mix of glucose and urea. When the weather gets chilly, these chemicals flow through its body, keeping its cells from freezing solid. It's like the frog has its very own anti-ice machine. Here's a wild fact. Around 65% of a wood frog's body can freeze solid without killing it. Imagine if you could survive having your heart and brain frozen solid. Talk about a superpower. And just so you know, the wood frog can stay frozen for weeks, waiting for the snow to melt and temperatures to rise. They're mostly found across North America, from Alaska to Georgia, and they're stars in the scientific community. Researchers study them to learn about cold adaptation and maybe even improve cryogenic preservation methods for humans one day. It has its own anti-freeze, a mix of glucose and urea that keeps its cells from freezing solid, letting it survive temperatures that would turn most animals into popsicles. Nope, thanks to its natural antifreeze, its cells stay intact, allowing it to wake up come springtime. It can remain in a frozen state for weeks, waiting for temperatures to warm up again. As the temperature rises, the wood frog gradually thaws, with its heart starting to beat first, bringing it back to life. It's like a slow-motion magic trick. A whopping 65% of its body can freeze solid, including its heart and brain. Talk about a hardcore hibernation. Not exactly. Its organs shut down, so it's more like a suspended animation. Think of it as a frozen zombie state. Its freezing ability lets it survive in winter conditions that other frogs just couldn't handle. Mostly, yes. It's found in colder regions across North America, where it hibernates safely through the winter. Right after thawing in early spring, usually around March or April, it doesn't waste any time getting back to business. Their unique freezing adaptation could teach scientists about cold adaptation and even ways to preserve human organs for transplants. Each has its own way of defying death. The immortal jellyfish rewinds its life, the tardigrade goes into suspended animation, and the wood frog freezes solid. Not exactly, but they're definitely the closest we've got to unkillable life forms. If any species are ready to survive an apocalypse, it's these guys. Well, that's a wrap on today's adventure into the world of creatures that defy death. But hey, if you found these animals fascinating, you've got to check out our video on Meet the Creatures with Superpowers. Dive in and discover even more extraordinary animals with mind-blowing abilities. And if you want more videos like this, let us know with your likes and comments. We love hearing from you. And until the next video, stay curious and full of energy.